Hello and welcome to the Dutching channel. It's Monday morning, the 15th of April 2024, and it's approaching 10 to 6 in the morning. We're going to look at today's racing. We've got Kelso, Redcar, Windsor, and Kempton. I picked out the races there that we're going to be betting in today. So we're only going to sort of look through, maybe try and pick out different systems and different ways of betting these horses, which you're free to do. So we'll look. This is the normal system, and I don't know if you know that last week I did, for a couple of 3 days, change the way I gambled on it. Only slightly different, but I know a lot of people wasn't happy with it, but it profited, and that's at the end of the day what counts. And yesterday I put both against each other, and they were pretty much concurrent yesterday. It was pretty much similar. So let's have a look at the start of today. We've got the 2:30 at Kelso, Woody Flash, Gypsy's Secret, and Arctic Man are your top three selections there. So whether you go again looking for the top selection or looking for your value bets, remember the value bet is just got to be a bigger price that you find than what I lay. So that's all that has to be. I mean, if I just quickly open Matchbook, I don't really want to do this morning because it's too early for the prices. And we'll start with the Kelso 2:30. And you can see that it is still 108 on the over round, so that there's not going to be any value here. You need to really be giving this somewhere around 10 to 15 minutes before the off, because you're looking for more bets than normal. So if we was just to start with the top selection there, and we'll go Woody Flash, that's currently 7.2. So I don't expect you to go and chase that and get on it. But that 7.2 would give us a value bet because of the price being bigger in that column than what it is in the My SP column, which is what I think it should be trading at. It's nothing to do with any prices that you see out there and think, he don't know what he's doing, these prices don't match what they are. No, they don't. This is just to my ratings. So if you see something like this one, as I say, the right hand column of the two, this column needs to be bigger in price. But it's also one of those races, if you just want to back my shortest price selection, then you need to use the My SP top line, and that will give you my shortest SP. So we'll go through them as we're here as well, and then we'll try and work out what the best bets of the day would be. But that's if you like your value betting. But if you like your normal selections, then you need to stick to the one where you back the top one, which is Woody Flash. And then you saw that was 7.2, and then that would have needed a stake of £13.89 to return £100. And then you go down to your next selection, the next selection, until you run out of money, basically, till you come down to £50. But I know that was a difficult system for a lot of people to understand. It's not your normal way to bet. And we had a very exciting March on it. 2,900 quid profit was brilliant. But at the moment, we're not suffering. We were at one point, we were 15.51 stakes down. But now, after today, we're 4.82 stakes down on the month. So if you were doing it for £1, we've had around 200 bets. And only to be, under £5 down, it is still good when we've been hit badly on 3 days. So anyway, that is the selection in our first race at Kelso. I'm not going to go through every single race like that, just that one to show you because we've got 21 races to bet on today. Then we move into the 3 o'clock at Kelso. We've got Everyday Champagne, Largy Train, and Grand Voyage. Kelso 3:30. We got Charlie Uberales and Your Own Story. Then in the 4 o'clock, you've got North Parade, Air Street, Whole of the Moon, Dream Boy. They're your top 4 that you would get paid out on a 16 horse handicap. Then in the 4:30 at Kelso, we've got Lexi's Moon and Chosen Hero. You know, if you're doing the system of Dutching, these aren't just the selections that you would be betting on. You would be betting on as many as you can, up to £50. This is just an example of what's going today. Then we go into Redcar, the 2:42, Glory Fighter, Trilby, and J.R. Cabbaging. And as I said, when I've given these selections out, then we'll go back and then look for the lowest price ones, which become the nap of the day and the next best. In the 3:12 at Redcar, we've got Serendipitous Lady, Batal Dandy, and Leakerman. The 3:42 at Redcar, Look Back Smiling, Thunder Roar, and Spirit Genie. Then in the 4:42, we got I'll Be Seeing Ya, Catherine Schroyer, and Palace Lord. The 5:12 at Redcar, Due Consideration, Coin Power, Bluffer on the Bus. The 2:20 at Windsor, the Coffee Pod, Revenue. Then in the 3:50 at Windsor, Under the Twilight, Amazonian Dream, and Marley Park. Now, also another thing that I was going to mention is that I'm going to put up after this a completely different system for you to mow over. I haven't done Kelso, I didn't have time to do that. But I've done all the flat races, and it's based on time form. Alright, so it is an interesting system that does win very often. So I will put that up after this video for you to have a look at that. Right, the Windsor 4:20, we've got Alcazan, Punch Bowl Flyer, and Prince of Bel Lear. Then in the 4:50 at Windsor, we've got Arcadian Nights, Ring of Light, and Stately Home. Then in the 5:20 at Windsor, we've got Jolty Gem, He's Got Game, and Savvy Warrior. Then in the 5:50 at Windsor, we got Jack Sparrow, Hakuna Babe, and Maldiyama. In the 6:30 at Kempton, Unreal Connection and Kiara Pearl. Then in the 7 o'clock at Kempton, we've got Oliver Show and Aurora Dawn. Then in the 7:30 at Kempton, we've got Lieutenant Rascal, Darrock, and Old Chums. Then in the 8 o'clock, we've got Ziggy's Dream and Imperial Guard. And in the 8:30 at Kempton, we've got Here at the Track, Vitaline, and Nuboff, or Nubo, however you want to pronounce that one. So that is the 21 races for today. We'll just work backwards quickly, and I will be looking at this top one in my SP. So there's quite a short one. This is Ziggy's Dream. That's 2.49. We'll see if we can find anything that is lower on that. We've got a 2.97 on Oliver's Show, which is roughly 15 to 8. And the one we looked at was sort of just under 6 to 4. And that was Ziggy's Dream. And I'm not even sure if that's going to run today because it's only just come off the back of that last win. I think it was on Saturday. So I'm not 100% sure there. And then we've got a 2.91, which is Charlie Uberales. Uberales. There used to be a horse in the day. I think it was Viking Uberales or something like that. I'm going a long way back, maybe 40 years ago. Right, so let's just have a look at this race before I leave it with you as the best bet. In the 8 o'clock at Kempton. Yeah, it's down to run, so we'll leave that as the nap of the day. That is Ziggy's Dream in the 8 o'clock at Kempton. You can see it is the outsider at the moment. So we'll leave that with that, and then we'll have just that little quick look at the prices at Kempton. The light's coming up with all this foreign stuff this time of the morning. Go into the 8 o'clock at Kempton. Don't expect any kind of a market here at the moment. 107 over round figure. But Ziggy's Dream, yeah, that's currently 6.4. So again, when I always tell you to do these prices, do not just go on at a set figure of, say, a £10 win or something. Just go into your stakes there. 1563 would return you £100 or whatever you want it to return you. Because some of these ones that I gave, like a nap the other day, it didn't win, it came fourth. But you could have got paid out on it, and it was over 40 to 1. And the thing is, you only need £2.50 on that to return 100. You don't need to go pushing big money on a 40 to 1 shot. So anyway, that's the selections today, but have a look at the next video because it's going to be an interesting one with the time form. It's not the time form figures. I use the racing post time form there, and I add and subtract a lot of figures that I do for my own workings out, and these aren't added or anything in a time form figure, but we may come up with the same answer on a few. So I want to show you how that works because it is a very good system to use. But because I had started off with this one and it had won so much in the first month, I only felt that we should carry on for April. But as I say, it's a hard month, but we're only losing £4.82 to a pound stake. So let me just try and bring that up quickly, and then we'll see how many bets that we've had to lose that to £4.82 into the profit and loss there. You can see the days we've profited, but we've been hurt on a few of those days. So there's your 482 that we're behind, but we've had 234 bets. And at bad times in the month, and I know there's been a lot of favourites beat, there's been a lot of results that you couldn't have got. 234 races, you know, imagine having a pound in every one of those races there, and to be just under a fiver down. Yeah, I think that's quite good for this period that we're going through. So we'll hopefully turn that around today. We've got 21 races to do it. So we'll see how we get on. I would like to do the value bets rather than just working from the top coming down, but we'll see how the day pans out first of all. Right, so that's your bets for today. As I say, stay tuned because I'm going to put another video up that'll be worth watching. And otherwise, it's happy punting for the day, and let's see if we can get ahead.